Some of you don't really understand the reason behind President Trump's recent intervention in the Christian genocide happening in Nigeria. Many people saw the headline, but very few know the deeper reason why the United States and the world are finally stepping in. Let's start from the beginning. Over the last decade, America has been Nigeria's biggest international security partner. Washington has supplied drones, bomb kits, fighter jet upgrades, and intelligence worth billions of dollars. The idea was simple: help Nigeria defeat Boko Haram and its offshoot, ISWAP. Just this year, the U.S. approved another $346 million arms package for Nigeria. Precision bombs, missiles, and targeting systems meant to strengthen the Air Force. Before that, there was the sale of 12 Super Tucano aircraft worth $500 million delivered under the Trump administration. Add that to years of counterterrorism training, logistics support, and humanitarian funding. On paper, Nigeria should by now have one of the most battle-ready armies in Africa. But what's the result? The killings continue. Entire villages still get wiped out in Plateau, Benue, Kaduna, and Borno. Churches are attacked almost every week. Children are abducted from schools. Farmers can't go to their fields. Soldiers keep dying in ambushes, sometimes because they run out of ammunition. So America is asking the same question many Nigerians have been asking quietly for years. Where is all the money going? Because the United States tracks every dollar it spends. It knows when weapons are delivered, when training is done, and when things don't add up. Intelligence reports show that despite billions invested, Nigeria's security forces remain under-equipped, under-motivated, and deeply compromised. And that's the root of America's frustration. Trump's declaration that Nigeria is a country of particular concern was not only about religion, it was about credibility. Washington is tired of funding what looks like an endless war with no genuine intention to win. When a country keeps receiving military support but still allows terrorists to thrive, it raises suspicion. When attacks follow the same pattern, Christians targeted in their villages, priests kidnapped, worshippers slaughtered in churches, and there's still no serious response, the world begins to wonder whether the violence is being quietly tolerated. That's why Trump's words hit so hard. They are killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria, and I will not allow that to continue. Those weren't diplomatic words. They were words of anger, frustration from a government that's been watching Nigeria repeat the same cycle for over a decade. And now, America isn't alone. The Canadian Parliament has discussed the killings. British lawmakers have questioned why Nigeria still receives military aid. The European Union has called for independent investigations into attacks that Nigerian authorities call herder-farmer clashes. Even reports of weapons meant for the front lines ending up in the hands of terrorists. That's why the war never ends, because every bullet fired is another contract renewed. Every attack becomes another excuse to demand funding. The war has become an industry, and peace would ruin business. So when America sends weapons worth hundreds of millions and still sees villages burning, the anger is justified. Washington wants to see evidence that the weapons are used for the right purpose, not for politics or profit. At the same time, discussions are happening in Congress about targeted sanctions, not against Nigeria as a nation, but against individuals, governors, generals, and politicians accused of either enabling the violence or stealing from defense budgets. If that list is activated, travel bans, asset freezes, and visa restrictions could follow. America's concern isn't purely moral, it's strategic. An unstable Nigeria threatens the entire region. The Sahel is already on fire. Mali, Niger, Chad, and extremist networks are growing. If Nigeria falls deeper into chaos, the whole of West Africa becomes vulnerable. That's why Washington is acting tough. Not because it suddenly discovered compassion, but because instability in Nigeria eventually becomes a global problem. The real story is Nigeria's lost humanity, a nation so used to tragedy that it now debates whether a massacre is religious or political instead of asking why it happened at all. This is why the world is losing patience.